Hi, we're going to talk now about 6.7, and this is going to be divided into three parts. Part 1 is going to talk about taxes and the total price at the register and your commission. Part 2 is going to talk about if something's on sale, how much would you take off and how much would it cost you at the checkout counter. And then Part 3 is going to talk about simple interest and how to find the percent of increase or the percent of decrease. So that's the three parts for 6.7. These are pretty important things, and they'll be highly significant when it comes to your final. And so it's going to put in together all the ideas from this chapter and chapter 5, and so that's why it's so significant and important for you to get. So let's first start with these three ideas. The sales tax, to find the cost that you're going to pay when you check out, and the idea of a commission. So first of all, your sales tax. You guys are all aware when you go buy something, whatever the price tag says is not what you have to pay. They're going to charge you a sales tax on top of that. And so if we want to find the taxes, we have to take the tax rate and multiply it times whatever the price of your item was. Now, your rate is usually going to be written as a percent. And you know you can't multiply percent, so obviously first thing you got to do is change it to a decimal. See, we're using what we had talked about previously. So let's look at this example. She wants to buy a dress, and the dress costs $87.99. So how much tax is she going to have to pay if her tax rate was 6%? So I'm going to use my basic idea. I'm looking for the tax. My rate is 6%, so I have to change that into a decimal, correct? So 6%, here's your decimal point. I'm going from decimal to, for percent to decimal, so I'm going to move it backwards this way. So that would be 0.06, and I'm going to multiply it times your price, 87.99. So in my calculator, I would say 0.06 times 87.99. That would give me that my tax is equal to 5.2794. Now, we all know that this is going to be money, correct? But money can't have 4 decimal places. Money can only have 2 decimal places. So you have to go over 2 decimal places, draw your line, and decide on how to round it. Since this is a 9, it tells you that you need to go up. So it would be 5.28, and that would be how much my taxes are. So we're using several ideas here, how to change a percent into a decimal, how to multiply decimals, and how to round decimals in order to get my final answer. All right, now let's talk about the total cost. You go and you buy something, you don't want to just know the taxes, you want to know how much I'm going to have to pay for it when I'm at the cash register. So we're going to call that our total cost. You'll see often the words total, or how much at the checkout, or how much all together. Those are all questions saying how much you're going to pay for this thing when you're ready to check out. So the total cost is equal to whatever the price it was plus your tax. Everybody agree? All right, notice I said tax, not tax rate, your tax. So I want to buy a hat that's $52.10. My tax rate is 6%, so now I want to know how much am I going to pay for it, okay? So my total cost, okay, is equal to my price. Well, that's $52.10. Plus my taxes. Well, I don't know my taxes yet. I know that my tax rate is 6%, so I have to go back to this idea in order to find my taxes. I have to take my tax rate, 6%, that would be 0.06, and multiply it times what the cost was, because you have to find the taxes before you can add them, all right? So 52.10 times 0.06 would give me 3.126. All right, so my taxes are 3.126, and I'm going to add that to 52.10. And that would give me 5.55.2 0.26. Okay, well, look, too many decimal places. I have to round it again. I go over 2 places, draw my wall. That's big enough to go up, so it would cost me 55.23. Okay, so when you're doing this one, I want you to understand that you have to find your taxes. And so that means you're going to be doing kind of a little mini problem within the problem. So do that little mini problem and then don't round until the very end. Okay? All right. So that's taxes and buying stuff. Now let's talk about commission. If you have ever worked in sales, they don't get paid by the hour most of the time. They get paid based on how much they sell. So the more you sell, the more you make. You don't sell anything, guess what? You don't make anything either. So commission is what's called when they pay you based on what you sell. Okay? So the commission is equal to your rate times what you sell. So example, Mark earns 4% commission. If he sold $2,485 worth of equipment, how much commission is he going to make? So he wants to figure out what's he going to make. So my commission is going to be my rate, okay, 4%, we got to change it to a decimal, 0.04, times my sales. Well, how much did he sell? $24.85. So then you'll take 0.04 and multiply it times $24.85, and you get $994. And that's how much he would make in commission. Okay? Now, the second kind of problem that you're going to see in your book related to commission is where they change the things up. In this example, Carl, he sold $8,500 last week, and it made $225 in commission. So they told you his sales and they told you his commission. So they're asking you, what is his commission rate? So now you've got to look for the percent that would make this work out. So we're going to use the same formula. Your commission is equal to your rate times your sales. Okay? But your commission, they've already told you what it is. $225. Your rate, you don't know. And your sales is $8,500. So instead of just a math problem, this is now an equation, okay? So if you want to find the rate, you have to do the opposite of multiplying by 8,500, which would be to solve it by dividing by 8,500. Okay, so 225 divided by 8,500 would give me, let me see if I wrote 225 divided by 85. That would give me 0.02647 blah, 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 blah as my rate, okay? Now, it's not a repeating decimal. It didn't end. If it would end, that would be nice, but it didn't. So you know they're going to tell you to round it to something, okay? So in this case, I'm going to tell you to round it to the nearest percent. Well, you have to change it to a percent first. So I'm going to move my decimal point 2 places, and that would make it 2.647%. And then I'm going to round to whatever it said, whole percent or tenth of a percent, pay attention. I say round it to the whole, so that would round me off to 3%, and that would be its commission, okay? So when you're looking for the rate, you're going to have to divide, change your decimal into a percent, and then if it's an ugly one, it's going to tell you to round it off. So, good luck.